12. That is now the number. And no matter what happens through the rest of the playoffs, the Avs have accomplished something here. Congratulations, Blues. You've given the Avs their first sweep in 20 years. Avs win over the St. Louis Blues 5-2.
Oh my goodness gracious! Wasn't in time! Score! Justice is served!
Look, I could sit here and tell you that this sweep was hard fought and the Avs had to grind it out to get the job done, but honestly, I'd be lying to you. And I don't want to take anything away from the Avs. They played very hard, they played quite well, and they deserve every bit of it. But they're just on a different level than the St. Louis Blues, at least this season. There's a reason you play the games, but Grubauer didn't struggle. You didn't see Braden Shen remember how to play hockey. Jordan Binnington, outside of part of Game 1, really didn't give the Blues opportunities to win low-scoring games. And the Avs took care of business. It's pretty much that simple. There were, in total, 240 minutes of hockey played in this series. The Blues led a grand total of 7 minutes and 12 seconds of that time, and all of that came in this hockey game. So clearly, the Blues were not much for the Avs to take care of. Now, there were still times when games were close, and there were times where the Blues probably could have done things to win hockey games, but those things didn't come to fruition, and it always felt like it was in the Avs' control. I'm sure I have viewers that know this far better than I do, but the last time the Avs had a sweep in the playoffs, I was 9. I didn't really understand how difficult and how much of a feat doing that really was. This one, I'm appreciating wholeheartedly. Game 4 itself started out pretty tepid. You were in this weird spot where it had already felt like the Blues had given the Avs everything they could and came up short, so it wasn't really clear what left the Blues could do to make this work. And the Avs did control the first period pretty decently, albeit a little bit of a slow period on the production side of things, shots being just 10-6 in the Avs' favor. That being said, this game flew by. Very few whistles in the first 2 periods. This game could have broken out a little bit earlier, as the Avs did hit 2 posts in the game, now up to a bad count of 4. Thank you to all of the comments for letting me know about the Mikko post I missed in the other game. Up to 4 now, just like that, the Avs now have more bad posts than good. So you move into the second period, and here is where I start to see the Avs on a different level than the Blues. The Avs make mistakes in this hockey game, and in this case, early in the second period, they even pay for it. So they go down 1-0 early. After getting control in the offensive zone, the Avs work it out up high and eventually over to Connor Timmins. But you'll notice as this is happening, 2 forwards up high, Patrick Nemeth decides to pinch down into the slot. Look, defensemen pinch sometimes, but Patrick Nemeth doing that is a little bit weird, to say the least. From there, Timmins tries to throw a shot towards the net. It gets by the defender, but it hits Patrick Nemeth in front, and then the puck just kind of settles down. Now, from here, things just kind of get weird. Nemeth can't manage to find the puck in front, you have Mikko coming down, and you have McKinnon floating up in the high part of the zone. Timmins is also sticking high because it's not clear that the Avs have lost possession yet. Not sure if he thinks that Nemeth is going to be able to control it or what, but eventually Nemeth loses control, O'Reilly gets his head up, and at this point, already gone is Tarasenko. Tarasenko definitely cherry-picking off-screen up the far side a little bit. Timmins not able to react to it, and that's partially because that's not his side of the ice. That's Nemeth's side of the ice, or it would be McKinnon, the guy covering back on that side, while Timmy plays the right. So, Timmy tries to step into the passing lane there, just missed it entirely. It happens, leads to a breakaway. Tarasenko, one of the last players on the Blues you want on the breakaway, and just a great shot from him beats Grubauer. Points from O'Reilly and Tarasenko. Had the Blues gotten more of that in this series, maybe I'm having a different conversation with you. Instead, it's too little too late from them, and the Avs go right back to business. There is not this big panic that, oh, they trail all of a sudden. The Avs know they're better, and they play their game, and that makes them better. It's really that simple. Yes, the Blues had injuries. Tough. You live with that. As far as the Avs are concerned, it happens, and you move on. Whether the Avs play Minnesota or Vegas in next round, lesson number 1. Don't give this team too many power plays. The Avs capitalize again on it here to even this game. Dying seconds of an Avs power play, watch Cale Makar work as he's going to go from his own goal line all the way across the blue line, get the entry himself, and drag Blues to him on the right side. Also has some help from Confer, but opts to pass to Saad in the middle of the ice. This is not that bad of a gap from Parayko, honestly. He maybe gives him just an inch too much room, and Saad just loads up and rips a beautiful shot that beats Binnington blocker side. Of the entirety of the Blues playoff roster, there were only 5 players that had more points than Philipp Grubauer in this series. And I think that speaks for itself. This is the second period after all, so the Avs put the pedal down. They outshoot St. Louis 14-5 and get the go-ahead goal from who else but the captain. McKinnon is going to carry the puck out of his own zone before getting it to Landeskog in the neutral zone. P.S. I hate this camera angle. You can't see anything that's happening. But Landy eventually controls it and gets it over to Mikko as they cross the blue line. Mikko works in deep before feeding it back up to Samuel Girard. Blues have overcommitted a little bit too deep in their zone. That's their high line, all 5 guys deep. So Girard has some room to walk in a bit, pick his spot, and fire. And as that's happening, Landy, reading the play beautifully, gets in front of the Blues defender to get his stick freed up and gets the perfect tip on it. They take the 2-1 lead into the third period. You're feeling good, not great with that, and this is where superstars step up. Early in the third period, the top line gets the job done. Shout out to Colorado as they score at exactly 4:20 into the third period. This is an almost broken breakout as Landy tries to get this puck through and up to Mikko, but it bounces a little bit of a stick in there, right back to McKinnon. So it's a weird play that gets the momentum shifted away. The Blues are not in full retreat mode, which allows McKinnon to collect the puck and get up to speed. You know he gone because he Nathan McKinnon. 2-on-1 with Mikko. McKinnon hits him and Mikko picks the 5-hole. He's been due for a goal. They go up 3-1, and then they do manage to make it a little bit harder on themselves by taking a penalty. And once again, Tarasenko and O'Reilly show up in Game 4, but it's too late. On the power play, Blues get it to O'Reilly, who works it down in deep, and then they just do the cross-ice through pass. A nice little pass there. This is out pretty high, but that's Vlad Tarasenko. When he's on, he's a pretty darn good shooter, and he beats Grubauer with this one. That makes it 3-2. It's a hockey game, but honestly, what the Blues muster in the third period just didn't feel like a whole lot. They get outshot 10-9 with their back against the wall, their season on the line. They just had no answer to what the Avalanche brought. Eventually, you get to goalie pull time, and the Avs throw 2 more empty netters in just because they can, and they walk away with the sweep. Sweeps are a rare feat in general. Since the expansion to a best-of-7 series, you really only see 1 or 2 sweeps through an entire playoffs, and the Avs can claim one this year. That's kind of awesome. And whether it's Minnesota or Vegas in the next round, ultimately this sweep means nothing against them. It does mean that the Avs get to rest, get a little bit healthy. Sounds like Alex Newhook will be just fine and back for the next series. So maybe there's a little bit of an advantage there, or maybe you feel like the time off means that they are gonna cool off a little bit. I don't know which one to take. I don't think it really matters because the Avs seem to be on a mission this year. There's 7 other teams that will be on a mission in round 2 though, and only one of them can come out on top. So keep watching, keep enjoying the playoffs. Remember this series because it's going to be one that stands out in Avalanche history. That I do believe. Even for the best teams, sweeps are hard to come by. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for more post-game coverage as well as all the playoff coverage you could need. I am Rudo, and honestly, I don't see how Minnesota ever beats Vegas in the series.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the big. The fun isn't over yet, it is Avalanche time.